Well, hello, good evening, and we're back for part two of You Have It, the BS, the No BS Duo show. Hello, everybody, we're back. Wow, what was part one all about? I'm just asking, what was part one all about?
Well, we
Woo!
had we had what Mr. the legendary, iconic Mr. Jimmy Merchant, the founding member of Frankie Lyman, actually the teenagers, Frankie Lyman and the teenagers, with his manager, Mr. Don Acosta, and he they gave us an education on the music business. Even though their era was in the 50s, what they taught us even is relevant today on how the music business is. Um, they were influential in a lot of groups, like the Jackson Five, the Osmonds, New Edition, New Kids on the Block, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, 98 Degrees, Destiny's Child, Jade, SWV, and it goes on. The Beatles, it goes on and on and on. Temptations, it goes back to Frankie Lyman and the teenagers. And I want to thank them both for coming aboard and giving us an education on the No
Yes,
BS show.
definitely. Definitely. Like, when I was it was funny because when I met Jimmy, um, like I said, he was just a regular old Facebook buddy. And it was like, oh yeah, you like, you know who I am? I'm like, yeah, you Jimmy Merchant, my Facebook buddy. He was like, yeah, how about you go check out my page? And it went from there. And it was like, you never know who your friends are. And I'm just grateful that he allowed us to use our platform to tell his story, because a lot of people really don't know the true story of Frankie Lama and the teenagers, let alone how they came about, how they got together, and how the songs were made, and how a woman was behind the scenes of the whole thing. Like we always say,
Yes.
every love song is behind a woman.
Ah, eh,
But I was so, honored. And then, Don coming on to speak with us, and his family. Oh, they like rocked. His family rocked. His wife and his daughter and his son even. They wanted to make sure that this went down, and they helped with the being, this is a new era for us. They helped him to be able to come online and talk to us. So I really appreciated the time. He actually went longer than he anticipated he was going to go too. So hands up, kudos to them. Kudos to them for sure. Kudos, appreciated them. What about you, DJ Wiz?
Boom, boom, boom. Hey, I thought it was very enlightening to me because, you know, some of the questions that I had, and especially with the Frankie Lyman story, the movie, and we learned a lot from that, that there was a woman that was the director of the movie. So, you know, and just to hear his stories about the beginning, how it started, and what was really intriguing to me is that how young how young they were. So that was the one of the best parts for me is about seeing them how young. I started playing drums when I was 5 years old, but you know, and just to see from back in their era how there were so many groups and how they were on the same streets and nearby each other. So I thought it was really cool to
yes,
hear that part of history.
And you
yes.
know what else I had liked about the fact of the history? The other part that I liked about the history was everybody's story kind of comes in together, where it's like being in the right place at the right time. Like,
Yeah,
Right.
he was supposed to been playing baseball, and it's funny because I often refer back to, we want something for our kids, but our kids' purpose is something else. And like,
Correct.
we always want our kids to be this, we want our kids to do that. But what was
Yes.
supposed to happen was really what was supposed to happen. He had a love for singing, he had a love for music. And it actually worked out that that's where he actually ended up going. Not too many
Yes.
people get that opportunity to actually be able to follow through their dreams based off their parents not allowing them to be or to do or to be as is. But I mean, being in the right place at the right time, like woo, that was right on point. And then his
Yes.
bass his bass person, like you're like, can you play baseball? Like you bat
Yeah, they
basketball.
did. Yeah.
And like they became better, the best friends. It's the ones that you did not consider ends up being the ones to consider, if
Right.
that
Right.
makes sense.
It
So
makes sense.
um this is part two of the conversation. And we had to come back because Facebook, of course, cut us off. And when we go, we go. And the conversation started off with, the message being in the music. Like I did a segment earlier today live, and I said, were we listening to the words? Like, did we really listen to the words, or were we mainly concerned about the beat? And us women, we kind of got caught up because you guys came to us with them lines, and we fell for them lines. To later on, found out that it was a song, and y'all didn't mean nothing that y'all said. Not all of y'all.
Mm.
But
Mm.
when y'all didn't know what to say, y'all did it in the song. I'm gonna share this real quick. So I was younger. I never forget. Um, remember we had the cassette tape players,
Yes,
and
we did.
we could record. And I
Yes.
remember how I was recording all these songs, and I used to tell my sister, "Shh, be quiet," so I could record the song because you could hear everything in the background. And I was
Yes.
trying to put the songs accordingly to say what I wanted to say to this guy. And I
Wow.
remember putting the music together, like to say, this is what I was saying to him. I was talking to him, but I was using the words like almost what you said the guys did. Like if the guy really wanted to know what to say, he put on Barry White and you ain't say
Yes.
nothing. You just put your
Yes.
arm around a girl and she automatically just melted and you was like, got her.
Yep.
Or some of us girls, we used to put a song on a CD or put it on a tape and send it to the guys, and say, play it. And you knew what my heart was saying. Or I remember one night I was on live and my heart was hurting so bad. And I was hurting because someone so dear to me was going through. And I just wanted to show them some love. So I did love songs all night. And it wasn't that my nose was wide open like some people thought. It was my heart was singing because I was hurting. And that was the only way I knew how to express myself. And I've been that forever. I mean, I know y'all can contest to that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess we can introduce the first song that had the first meaning. How about that? When a
Mm.
guy came to me and he popped up this song, I never took a second guess to wonder, did he mean what he was saying? I mean, I do today, but when that song first came out and I heard it, shh, tell him what song it was, Will. Tell him what song it was.
Is it by three individuals?
I believe it is. I believe that it is.
Well, we're going to get to that song. Hit the red screen, sis.
Here we go. I'm
Hit the
coming.
red,
I'm coming.
hit the red screen because I'm ready to do it.
Go
Ready?
for it.
I'm so sorry, baby. Let me get down on my knees. I'm asking you to smile, smile, smile for me, baby. This tears, I see drop from your eyes. Tell me why you cry. Guilt when you look at me, girl. Did I let you down? Do you see that I It's not the same. I know I was to blame. So tell me when will I see you smile again? Oh, and I know that you felt promises many times before. And I broke each one of them. I had to learn over and over and over again. Don't hurt the one you love. Girl, you see, I apologize. Tell me what you do. Tell me through to you. It's not the same. I know I was to blame. So tell me when will I see you again? Now you know we've been together for a long time, baby. Ain't there never been a problem we couldn't solve it, we just talk it out. Come over here and sit right down, let me tell you how I feel, baby. Cause all I do is think of you. I'm begging you to smile for me, baby. It's one of those days when life's cut me down. Where are you now? I'm beating you. Say the right thing. Everything is wonderful. Ooh. Take all my scars and a broken heart. Promise you will cover me. Give me your all. Say it's not make believe. Love me. Follow your heart where you love me. Things get to show me that you take care of me? Will you show me that I'm your everything and I'll be yours? Make sure you're sure that you love me all the way. When I feel nothing, like I had nothing, I had nothing but love. Would you stay? We'd be the same when everything's not beautiful. Hey, I'm not perfect, but I'm worth it. Love me all the way, 'cause I deserve it. I'll give everything to you, but you gotta make me believe that you love me. With all of your heart, will you love me? Things get too hard and I need you more. Make sure you're sure that you love me all the way. Oh, show me that you'll take care of me. Will you show me that I'm your everything and I'll be yours? Make sure you're sure that you love me all the way. I know I ask for too much, even only enough, 'cause this is bigger than enough. Love you from now till the end, till the time was done. All that I'm asking you is love me. With all of your heart, will you love me? When things get too hard and I need you more, make sure you're sure that you love me all the way. Show me that you'll take care of me. Will you show me that I'm your everything and I'll be yours? Make sure you're sure that you love me all the way. Hey, love me all the way. All the way. Yeah. Oh.
Wow, those are powerful.
Woke up this morning, found a letter that she wrote. She said she's tired that I'm always on the road. Too hard to swallow, being alone. She needs someone at night that she can hold. She must have told me 1,000 times more. Silent cries I used to ignore. God knows I love her, didn't mean her. Maybe I'll be sitting here waiting on you to come home again. Waiting on you. I won't leave. Promise I'll be here to the very end. I'll be by your side to protect you and to love you and to be with you for life. Come on home to me, Charlie. She knows I really love this old music thing. Since I was a child, it's been my dream. I can't support her, treat her and spoil her. You know I heard to find a thing, but I forgot my love her. Damn the money, diamonds and pearls. What about the hard days she had with the baby? All she needs for me to baby, I'll be sitting here waiting on you to come home again. I want you. Promise I'll be here to the very end. I promise I'll be by your side. To protect you and to love you and to be with you for life. Come on home to me, Charlie. Promise I can't live without her. God knows I need another. And it hurts so bad, and she's gone away. I'm afraid she'll come back one day in my life. Baby, I'll be here waiting on you. You waiting, baby. I won't leave. Promise I'll be here to the very end. I'll be you for life. I have signed to protect you and to love you and to be with you for life. Come on, come on, to me, baby. Sometimes I cry. Charlie, if you're listening, call on. Always and forever, each moment with you is just like a dream to me that somehow came true. And I know tomorrow will still be the same, 'cause we've got a life of love that won't ever change. And every day there'll be your own special way, melt all my heart away with a smile. Take time to tell me you really care, and we'll say tomorrow together. I love you. Oh, yeah. Always be sunshine when I something I can't explain. Things that you do get lonely, lonely and take a second to give to me that magic you make. And every day I'll be your own special way, melt all my heart away with the time. Take time to tell me you
Yes, 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 yes,
Again,
yes, 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 yes,
Yes.
yes, yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yes. Mr. Ted,
wow. That's all I can
Mr.
say. That's
Ted,
my jam right there, boy. That is my jam.
man,
You know,
I hit you with When Will I See You Smile by Velvet DeVoe, classic. Then I hit you with Let It See All the Way, classic. Then I hit you with Anthony Hamilton, Charlene. Now, before I go to the other song, um, that song I pulled out because he's talking about his career. He loves his career. He loves his career so much that he put his his love life in front of his career, his family.
can we sit there for 1 minute? Can we sit
Go
there for
ahead.
just 1 minute? How 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 often do we put things aside as a result of, like, I want the love, but I need this too. So it's like you can't balance. They feel like you can't balance both.
No, you
But
can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't.
I can't agree to. I have to disagree with you there. I gotta agree to disagree with you there because
Go
I don't
ahead.
see why. I can't see why you can't do both. I guess it's because we as women we balance things and we do things for the sake of us and them. And yes, we do take a back seat and compromise our happiness for the front row, whereas everyone else reverses that. That makes
Mm.
sense. That makes sense. Like we don't reverse it. We reverse it and say, you know what? For your happiness, I'm gonna fall back and I'm gonna do what needs to keep you happy. You guys say, well, I gotta do this first and then I'm gonna come back and get you.
Ted.
Well, it's true what Sean is saying that um, we can't we can make all kinds of excuses, but normally it's the woman because in the family structure she's geared as the nurturer.
Yes.
The man is he's geared as a provider. Now, it's not as common nowadays, but we know when we were growing up, it was nurturer provider, nurturer provider. And so what he was saying in his song is that look, I'm gonna put you first. And what Will was saying is that he says, well, no, you can't really balance that out. And on an average, it's hard to balance something like that out. It is difficult to balance it out. But then comes in the true love and desire for one another. And
That's
I
yeah.
think that what Sean is saying is, yeah, you can balance it. And you have to actually sit and think, what is the common goal here? The common goal is to be family. The common goal is to for both to get that balance so there's equality in the relationship. And so these songs that we really, songs that we listen to, all four of them pointed out very specific things. And I also noticed that two of the men's songs were apologetic songs, and he wanted to see
Yes.
them smile. So they wanted to see the woman smile.
Yeah.
And so we have to ask ourselves, why is that? And normally we look at in our societies that, well, the man did this, and so it warrants an apology. And the woman's there in that other song accepting an apology, but she's also saying what she's willing to do for the relationship. And this is all he has to do. So, uh, and so that's the balance that comes into play. That's the
I
balance.
totally agree. I totally agree. Because that song by Lettucey, when I hear that song, it's like I fall back. It's like I get so in my, as the kids would say, in my feelings, because that's all I want. It's like, are you sure this is what you want to do? And can you love me all the way? Can you like really just love me? Just love me? You know, are you sure you sure? Like I'm like, because I don't have nothing and I don't have nothing to lose. To win is to win you, but the gain is to gain a headache of you not being real with me. Like I just want to know, can you love me all the way? Can you love me in spite of me? Can you love me when things ain't right, when things is wrong, when you see me and you don't like me today or you love me less tomorrow? Can you love me through all of that? And it's like
Mm.
can you do that for me? And right now, is a lot of women that feel as though you can't love me all the way, so I'm going to settle for what you can give me. Well, guess
True.
what? I'm not settling. I can't. I can't settle because my happiness means so much to me to the point that when you turn around and you ask me, when will you see me smile again? When you love me all the way. When you
And
put me on top, when you stop putting everything else in front of me, and when you realize that when you doing that, you can do both of us. Because when you doing both of us, guess what? I'm going to help you not to fail us. And that's the part they leave out. Because I'm going to help you to be able to balance. I'm going to be there to be wherever falls. I'm gonna treat that like a big girl with a Big Mac falling off the platter. You ever see a fat girl catch a Big Mac in midair? That's how I'm gonna be. And my man need me. My man falling short and he can't get what he need. I'll be like a fat girl catching a Big Mac in midair, getting ready to hit the floor. I'm gonna catch it right in midair. Boom! I got you, baby. I got you. I got you. Every man needs an undercover fat girl.
what? What?
Every man needs an undercover fat girl. And that's how I'm going to treat life. Like I'm the fat girl that want to eat, and I'm going to make sure we all eating. You ever see a fat girl busting line before?
Yeah.
You ever see a fat girl go get some food? She know where the good food at, don't she? She ain't
Yes,
taking
you
you where
do.
ain't gonna be giving you a little bit of food. She like, boo, we can't eat this. This is where we gonna eat at, and she gonna take you where you need to go to get. You need that chick. I'm just saying, you need that fat girl mentality. Like I'm gonna be whatever you
Is,
need. I'm gonna give you the best. I'm gonna
is
give you the
that
best.
true, Mr. J?
Come on, Teddy Bear Ted. Tell him, cuz I got one up so far. I won so far. I won the first debate. So come on, what you got? What you got? What you got?
Oh, you think? All right.
Well, there's to me, let's go back on the fat girl analogy.
Okay.
Because it doesn't matter whether it's not a literal thing as far as what Sean is saying as fat girl as far as weight, but she was using the analogy of she has what it takes to get whatever it is done, and she'll go to any lengths to make sure that the family has what it is.
Woo! You said it.
So basically,
Woo!
the balance that can happen there is that the man should acknowledge
Mm-hmm.
the acknowledgement
The acknowledgement.
that she goes out and has that type of mentality and that type of attitude and that type of drive, because there's two roles being done here. She's got that role, he's got a role. But as a man, when we say in this society, a lot of men say, well, I'm a king, and they want the woman to call him a king. Well, every man ain't a king and every woman ain't a queen.
Boom.
But in the sense of the king and queen scenario, my sisters say they have a thing where, let me come help my sister fix her crown.
Right.
The woman, and then there's also a meme that was out not so long ago, they probably still use it, where this brother is down on his knees, his head is down, and the strong woman is behind him,
Right.
lifting him up. Now, the key is you can take that meme and twist it all around. Hey, he's a sorry joker, and he's this and that, he ain't this. There's too much of that going on in society. So a lot of men say, well, you know what, if that's the angle that she's gonna go at, forget it. Then they play the field. They play all kind of women. Or they do lots of different things. But the key is that y'all should be fixing each other's crown.
Right.
You know what? That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. And you know what? Crown fixing. I think, sis, you had a segment this week about crown fixing.
Sure did. Sure did. Sure did. With the most beautiful Kim Ontario, or Ontario Kim Wilson. Yes, we did. Mind you, thank you, everybody. We are up to 600 and something views for that one. So thank you. And we did that Wednesday, and today is Saturday. Oh,
Yes,
she's back.
Yes.
So yeah, it just goes to show that people really agree and understand that this is what's needed right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not a man basher. I love a man. I love a man, a hard working man. I do. I do love a hardworking man, and
I know you love the hardworking man, but man bash.
I just need a hardworking man to love me back. That's all I'm just saying.
You know what? You a strong black woman. That's what it is. You're
that's
like
the problem.
Strong. And plus you're a Fraser. We don't like punks. Am I right, Ted? We ain't punks.
Can't have no punks.
We gonna be like, you say you love me, prove it. Cause we ain't taking no weak nothing.
It's like what Ted said before. Remember, Ted, when we talked about the difference of how a man comes versus how the woman comes. When the woman comes, she gives her heart first. The man gives him the heart last.
Right.
And as a result of that clash, we're both in waiting, but I'm waiting, and now by the time you give me your heart, I'm like, forget it. I done went through so much to gain it. I don't think I want it now. And then vice versa with him. He like, yo, you fighting too much. I don't want it no more. So it's like, you miss. It's like a hit or miss. But if you both get under the same concept of, can we just talk? Tell me how it really is. Tell me what it really is.
That's the key. The key is if the woman's giving her heart first and the man's giving his heart last, the key that's missing is that in the middle, they're not conversating about what's going on. That's the key. But see, people say, well, men say, I don't like to communicate like that. That's the problem. And the key is to bettering yourself is to learn how to overcome obstacles that each individual has in themselves. If you're not a good communicator, then you need to be on Google or somewhere, go to the library and find a book, if you don't have that much effort, then you don't want a relationship.
Or better yet, send me a doggone song. Send me a song. I'll accept the song. If you telling me this is on your heart, I'll accept it. Because you can't tell it to me, so you got to get somebody to sing it to me. I'll accept it.
Ted? You know what, Ted and Shauna?
What?
I got something. Turn the screen to red.
Go.
And I'm going to let Marvin Gaye tell you what the trials and tribulations that man and woman do. I'm gonna let Marvin Gaye. I'm gonna let Marvin Gaye say it. Okay. I'm gonna let him tell me.
You were my wife, my life, my hopes and dreams. For you to understand what this means, I shall explain. I stood all the jealousy, all the hatred too. Yes, I forget it all. Watching you. Oh God, how could we end up like this? Oh baby, let me reminisce. Oh, and when we stop the hanging sometime. You set my soul on fire. My one desire was to love you. Think of you and cry. And I'll keep you satisfied, oh baby. We could not bear the mental strain. Did you allow me to? Now you see how much you hurt me. But if you ever leave me, I'll be by your side. Though the happy times we had can really never come away. Oh, I never loved nobody like I love you, baby. To say my darling, maybe we'll be down the line. It's too late for you. It's too late for you and I. Much too late for you to cry. It's too late for you and me. Much too late for you and I. It's too late for you and me. Much too late for you to cry. Oh, we tried. God knows we tried. Now it's too late. to live the love and love. It's too late for you, but it's too late for you to cry.
Uh-oh.
You abandoned me, now don't live here anymore. Just a vacancy, now don't live here anymore. When you lived inside of me, there was nothing I could conceive that you would do for me. Trouble seemed so far away. You changed it right away. You abandoned me. I don't live here anymore. Just a vacancy. I don't live here anymore. Don't live here anymore. Just emptiness and memories of what we had before. You went away, another place to stay, another home. You abandoned me. I don't live here anymore. Just a vacancy. I don't live here through the windows of my eyes, where everyone can see the loneliness inside me. Why'd you have to go away? Don't you know I miss you so and need your love? You've abandoned me. I don't live here anymore. Just a vacancy. I don't live here anymore. You've abandoned me. I don't live here anymore. Just a vacancy. I don't live here anymore. No, no, no. You've abandoned me. I don't live here.
Those are some powerful songs.
Yes, yes. And what do you think about this one? Another powerful song that's coming up. I'm gonna let this one be a surprise.
Bring the beat in. Honey, honey, I can feel the can feel something whenever you're near. Every time you touch me, I just melt away. Now everybody asks me why I'm smiling, I'm from ear to ear. But I know nothing's perfect, but it's worth it. I have to fight through my tears. And finally, you put me first. Baby, it's you. You're the one I love. You're the one I need. You're the only one I see. Come on, baby, it's you. You're the one that gets done all. You're the one I can always call when I need to make everything stop. Finally, you put my love on top. Oh, come on, baby. You put my love on top. You put my love on top. Oh, baby. You put my love on top. Baby, I can never win. Looking past my face as we dance the night away. Boy, your lips taste like the night's champagne. As I kiss you again and again and again and again. Now everybody asks me why I'm calling out from ear to ear. But I know nothing perfect, but you're just have to fight through my tears. And finally, you put me first. Baby, it's you. You're the one I love. You're the one I need. You're the only one I need. Come on, baby, it's you. You're the one that gets done all. You're the one I can always call when I need to make everything stop. Finally, you put my love on top. Oh, baby, you put my love on top. You put my love on top. Oh, baby, you put my love on top. Double tap. You're the only thing I need. Yeah, oh, baby, it's you. You're the one that gives the all. You're the one that always calls when I need to make everything stop. When you leave, you put my love on top. Baby, you're the one that I love. Baby, you call me. You're the only one I need. Come on, baby, it's you. You're the one that gets the all. You're the one I always call. When you need everything stop. Finally, you put my love on top. Baby, you're the one that I love. Baby, you're the one that I need. You're the only one I need. Baby, it's you. You're the one that gets the all. You're the one always call. When I need everything stop. Finally, you put my love on top. Baby, you're the one that I love. Baby, you're the one that I need. You're the only one I need. Baby, it's you. You're the one that gets the all.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes.
You know
So
what?
Shauna and Tan, I'm
When
sorry,
that
I ain't mean to like throw that on y'all, but you know, I just had to play that song by Marvin, Brother Marvin, and he said, just to keep you satisfied. Love don't live here no more. And love is on top. Ted, Shauna, break it down.
So just to keep you satisfied. Go ahead, Ted. You go first.
That's old school. I did that purposely for you, Ted. You said
Okay.
she said Marvin Gaye. He said just to keep you satisfied. You're a little bit older than us, so break it down what Marvin was saying in that song.
Well, basically, when I first started listening to his song, he was having a message, but it's still relevant now. The same, nothing, the world's cycle is the same. Relationship cycles are the same. Doesn't matter if it's the digital age or back when we was, younger. Um, Marvin Gaye was well beyond his time, and
Yes, he
the messages that he was giving out was, basically talking about the relationships and how we communicate or we don't communicate. And it's I got more from the song of the woman, that love don't live here anymore. And it's actually it's a true depiction of life and relationships, but it's also sad because when we're in this society, it's all a matter about choices. What do you want in a relationship? We can't, as men, we can't go around damaging women to the point they get to a point where they say, hey, love don't live anymore. I mean, she's obviously saying, I've taken enough. I have no more to give. And letting the guy know that whatever he's doing, his game, he's playing, his insensitivities or whatever it may be, she's met her, she's at her limit. And it's really sad that we get to those points in relationships to where we don't realize how much we're damaging that other individual. And but there's a lot. I'm not going to bash on men too much. I'm definitely not going to bash on the women. I mean, we all know that as life cycle goes, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has some ill judgments. But the sad thing is that in the Bible, it talks about that when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. And that's not to say every man is good and every woman is good. But what God was saying is that when you do find that wife, she is a good thing. And in that good thing, and it also says that you should cling to your wife. Cling to her. That a man should leave his mother and father and cling to his wife. And in that, it doesn't mean everything's going to be perfect at the beginning or perfect in the middle or perfect at the end. The key is that everybody has different communication styles. For African American men, we struggle for long periods of time where we have the inability, I won't say the inability, but the lacking desire to reach more towards the woman. Like it shows weakness, and it doesn't. It actually shows strength when you reach towards your woman and try to communicate. And each time you try, it's like taking a step, walking up the steps. Every time you make a step towards that woman, she's going to probably make a couple steps towards you. So, and when you understand that as a man, when you understand that, if I make that one step, sometimes that woman is making 2 or 3 steps because she's like, I'm ready for you, brother. I'm ready for you to make the effort. I'm ready for you to see that there's an issue here. Now, for the women, like we talked about earlier, they start out leading with the heart, and men end up towards the end or towards whatever portion of the relationship. It's kind of like the snail moving towards the turtle. See what I'm saying?
What an analogy. So is it my turn? Is it my turn?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So my turn. My turn. This was a conversation of who's to blame. That's how I looked at what you just did, Will. Did the bell just go off and go ding 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 ding? Is that what happened?
See, see, senora.
Okay, I figured that's what happened because he was saying I did all this to satisfy you, and just to satisfy you, I got past the fact that you was always jealous about what I was doing, where I was going, and it was like whenever we got home, that's all that mattered. When we got home, we took care of business, and it was like we forgot the fact that what happened happened. But now it's starting to get old, and now it's like, yo, you know what? This ain't working out. We just gotta cut our losses, and it's over. Don't start crying. I don't want to hear it. It's too late to be crying now about this. And it's just over. Maybe later. And he was like, no, not even maybe later. Look, it's just over. I'll stand by you. I'll always be there with you and for you. But this joint is a done deal. But then she came back and was like, you know what? Let me tell you something. You abandoned me. So, you can leave because love don't live here anymore. That's why you feel as though now you want to come to me talk about everything you did to satisfy me. Let me tell you something. And she moving her head around and she talk about something. It wasn't nothing I wouldn't do for you. It wasn't nothing we couldn't have did. It wasn't no mountain we couldn't have conquered. And it was you. You shouldn't have left. You shouldn't have left. When you left, and you decided to go to somebody else to have the conversation, or you want to go to somebody else to either be consoled, or you went somewhere else to deal with our problems instead of come and deal with me. Now you want to come talk about something. It's too late. No, how about it's been too late because love don't live here anymore. And after they had that argument, after they had that fight, at the end, it came back to, okay, this is why we stayed together because you put our love on top. And when you think about relationships, that fight comes all the time. And no, and it's like, I seen somebody wrote a post the other day and it said, it's love when you pack your stuff to leave and you stay. And that's what happened. He was hollering about what she did to satisfy her, and she was saying, but this is why you feel that you had to satisfy because you did that. They had the argument. She packed her stuff. He grabbed the keys and grabbed her arm and said, wait a minute. And then they decided to put each other's love on top. That's how I got that argument went just right there. I mean, that's my take on it.
Wow. You and Ted both basically defined what the songs meant. I mean, we always have them arguments in relationships. Everybody, man or woman, always try to do things to keep each one satisfied. We always do that. We always feel that once we sometimes feel that we're not satisfying the need, first thing we say is, where's our love? That's why it says love don't live here anymore. Where's our love? But then through conversation and fighting and arguing and walking out, and standing by the door and sitting in the car and texting and all that stuff like that, you get time to cool out. And you come back in and you say, you know what? Y'all both sit down and talk. And that's the key that people need to do is talk. No relationship, and I'm gonna let it spill. No relationship, whether it's with family, whether it's with wife or husband, no relationship is gonna ever be easy. Relationships are hard. I tell people all the time. My father told me, my mother told me, everybody who's in a relationship, relationships are hard. And some relationships are worth fighting for. And then in some relationships, it's like, excuse my language, fuck that. But you got to, in your heart knows which ones is worth it. You understand what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
in this day and age, you and Ted both touched on something. In this day and age, we got a lot of relationships that went astray. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, all you gotta do is turn on the TV. I said this before. Lifetime got a show called Snapped. TV One got a show called Fatal Attraction and For My Man. And trust me, For My Man, it's not, oh, I love my man. It's like I'm gonna do dumb shit for my man, and I'm gonna lose it all for this so-called man. And that's the problem today. We got a lot of so-called men today. And I'm gonna call it and I'm gonna say it. Women need to wake up. Men need to be men because there are too many pursuers walking around here. Women like, ooh, that's my boyfriend. Ooh, that's my man. First of all, anybody over the age of 18, or excuse me, anybody over the age of 25 in a relationship, that boyfriend shit is dead. That's your man. If y'all in a serious relationship, I hear people 40 some years old, oh, that's my boyfriend. You're not a boy, you're a man. Oh, that's my girlfriend. You're not a girl, you're a woman. And we just need, everybody needs to understand the real meaning of love. Once we understand the real meaning of love, we all will be able to understand. As a matter of fact, it was a movie called Goodfellas. There was a scene where the character Henry Hill went to defend his woman because she was being harassed by the neighbor across the street. It's a little weird, so just ride with me. She told him, he's bothering me. He's bothering me. So he got in his car, took his girl, went to her mother's house. He got out the car. He said, stay right there. He went over to the guy. He said, I told you, don't disrespect. Definitely don't disrespect my woman. He didn't say girl, he said woman. He said, oh, F you. He beat him down with the butt of the gun. After he did that, he went to the car. She's He had the gun in his hand. She took the gun and got rid of it. He didn't say nothing to her. That's another thing. Knowing what your partner wants without he or she saying it. He didn't have to say a word. He got in the car. She automatically took the gun. He looked at her, gave her a nod, and that gun was gone. That right there, communication. When you are so deep in a person and you ain't got to say nothing, it's already proven. So bringing it all back home, love needs to be better communicated. If it's a love worth keeping, fight for it. But if it's a love ain't worth shit, let it go. That's all I got to say.
And you said a whole lot because with all that being said, you got to understand that everybody's definition of love is not the same. So what you may say is love, somebody else may not say that it is love. So when you have that conversation, you need to have a mutual understanding and agreement to what each other think love is. You know, because what I may think is love, you may be like, no, that's not love. It's not love at all. So you have to, like you said, you have to have the conversation. And that's what we have to do. We have to talk. And that's the one thing that I appreciate quarantine 2020 because it forced us to talk. It forced us to deal with that uncomfortable situation or have that uncomfortable conversation because there was nowhere else we could go. Like if I may use my imagination and be a devil's advocate, she knows he's cheating, but now he got to stay in the house to be quarantined with me. So the conversation is going to be, so talk to your girlfriend. That's that conversation you're going to have, or it may be like, well, why are you here? Why ain't you go get quarantined over there? Well, where's over there? You know, or it forced us to have the conversation of, you know what, this is why I can't wait till the world open because I can't stand being here with you. Well, the feeling is mutual. I wish that you didn't even come here. You know, then you have, you're forced to deal with some things. You're forced to see things. You're forced to find out that people that you thought was your friends wasn't your friends. People who you thought had your back didn't have your back. You found out the people who you thought that was stabbing your back was actually the ones that was protecting your back. You found out that you really did need to find out you. You did need a moment just to find some love or find a medium just to stop and breathe and drink and what's the song say? Shake, stop, shake, freeze, let it go. Yeah, that's all what just happened. So with all that being said, I appreciate 2020 quarantine because it really opened up our eyes to deal with what life is really about and where life is going right now. And it left you with the question of where do we go from here? What now? I love that song. Where do we go from here, my love? Do we what do we do? What do we do? And I believe quarantine 2020 did that with all of us. It really not just for relationships, but life period. You know. So
Yes. And on that note, you know, let everyone in the audience know that tomorrow, 9 o'clock, I'm gonna be rocking the old school. Ted, I would like for you to join in if you can.
Sure.
Listen to the oldies. My engineer gonna be right there,
with
showing wave to the world.
WTMB,
You understand what I'm saying?
yay yay.
So, okay, Ice Cuba. So,
I'm gonna be the engineer of the night. So we thank you for this little brief segment of wondering, the message in our music. And what message are we giving? Because this is the message of our music, but our kids' music is.
Totally different. I was just going to say that
I'm like,
because
yo, what
you know
did he say we
I
gotta
rode in
do?
my son's car, and I was like, dang. And all my daughters, same way, all my sons, and
do
I
you have
said,
a daughter
wow,
named Sarah?
huh?
You have a daughter named Sarah?
No, I said all my daughters.
No, I said, do you have a daughter named Sarah?
No, no.
Did you ever know a girl named Sarah?
Yeah, yeah, a couple friends, yeah.
Well, we're going to do a segment of a youth day. We're going to do a special segment, but you stay tuned for that because we're going to do a special segment of the youth, and we're going to see what's on their heart and what's on their mind and what's on their soul and what song is they wrapped around. So look for that. But again,
And
as the lampshade comes on my head, where's my lampshade? And I hear the record playing. It's time to go now.
Ted, I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you why I asked about Sarah, okay? Because Sarah is the epiphany of every woman. This is what we want from every woman, okay? And as we close out,
With
and
my lampshade on my head.
oh boy, and I shall see you prayerfully later on today.
With
I'm
my
gonna tell
lampshade
you,
on my head.
and
What
it
time
could
is
be
it? 9 p.m. or 9 a.m.?
it's
PM. 9
9
a.m.
p.m.
too early in the morning. And then I gotta do Bible Sunday school. And I gotta
Yes,
do church. Make sure y'all
yes.
go to church, y'all. Cause I put the lampshade on my head because the party's over. But make sure y'all go to church in the morning.
But you know what, Ted? We're gonna take it out. Oh boy, no drinking bleach.
I'm just playing.
No
No
drinking bleach.
bleach.
No
Please.
bleach.
No bleach.
No bleach.
I'm
This
just
song,
laughing.
this song is dedicated to every woman in a relationship, even our sister Shauna
In the lampshade.
and the lampshade. You could just put whoever, put their name in front of this song because you're gonna want them to smile.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, good night. William Frazier, Ted Frazier, my dynamite sister, Shauna Hall Williams. But before we go, I got a surprise for you. I want y'all to take this and I want y'all to just think about it tonight. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, bye-bye.
Goodbye. Love you guys.
Love you too.
The Fiverr website's really easy to use. It's like shopping on any one of your favorite e-commerce sites. You're able to
Oh, Shauna.
Baby, with a woman's eyes, I can feel you watching in the night. All alone with me, we're waiting for the sunlight. When I feel cold, you warm me, and when I feel I can't go on, you come and hold me. It's you and me forever. Sarah,
Yeah, buddy.
I want you to smile for me, Sarah.
Yep.
If you feel like leaving, you know you can go. But why don't you stay until tomorrow? If you wanna be free, you know, all you got to do is say so. And when you feel cold, I want you. And when you feel you can't go on, I'll come and hold you. It's you and me forever. I want you to smile for me, Sarah. Sarah, smile. I want you to smile for me, Sarah. I want you to smile a while for me, Sarah. Oh, smile a while. I want to laugh, Sarah. Make me feel and not keeping me crazy, crazy. Smile a while.
Good night, everyone. Good night. Night. Peace and love.